A lot of you have asked me, why do I live in such a tiny apartment in New York City when I have a relatively large real estate portfolio? In today's episode, we're going to make a comparison between a $500,000 New York City apartment and a $500,000 house anywhere outside of New York City. In this case, in Lake Harmony, this is where we are visiting and recording this video today. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Now, you might be wondering, why am I creating such a high-level episode, so to speak, right? So the reason why I decided to create this is because I want you to take two things away from this episode. One, I want you to have the ending in mind, meaning what type of consumer, what type of renter are you envisioning to have as part of your real estate portfolio? That comes before anything else you can ever think of. Buying real estate or investing in real estate, it's more than looking at a beautiful house. I've said that multiple times. So now it is time for you to sort of like ask yourself, okay, do I want to deal with long-time renters, or do I want to manage seasonal renters? What exactly is it that I am looking forward to do? That's one. And then second, I want you to understand that having a $500,000 amount of money, cash, whatever you want to name it, in your hand will change your acquisition power depending on where you are. If you are in an area like New York City, you will soon find out that it's not enough to get you much. But if you're in an area out here in Pennsylvania, like in Lake Harmony, then you're gonna realize that, oh, okay, maybe I can get away with a lot more space. But even if I have more space, is that still enough? Is that something I still wanna add to my rental portfolio? So let's just get started, right? A couple of months ago, I released 2 episodes about a tour that I shared with you in my 300 square foot apartment, right? Relatively small, and I paid $1,450 or $1,450 as a rent for that tiny studio. But I've said and shared multiple times that it's more than enough for me. But a lot of you were wondering, okay, but why live in such a small apartment where you can get something bigger? So let's just amp up the budget. And like I said, we're gonna talk about a $500,000 apartment, and that on average can get you a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom apartment. And as you can see, when you are in the middle of New York City, you are pretty much close to everything, right? So let's say you decide to invest in an apartment in New York City. What do you think are the, let's say, selling points that someone might wanna look at when it comes to investing or renting your property? Well, one, they want to be close to their jobs, at least relatively close. So we're talking about a commute somewhere between 40 minutes to an hour max. They want to be close to shops, close to restaurants, right, where they can actually hang out with their close friends, because let's face it, it is a metropolitan city. They want to go to clubs, they want to, have a good, decent social life. And 3, how can they get their basic necessities taken care of? We're talking about proximity to pharmacy, to supermarkets. All of that is factored into account, right? And as you know, New York City is somewhat overpopulated, for lack of a better term, and everybody wants to live in New York City. Everybody wants to be there. So the competition, the demand will drive the prices of the rentals up, which also means that the price of the properties that you're planning to invest on also goes up a lot. So a property of a $500,000 will only get you, if you're lucky, let's say a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom apartment. Now, if you come out here in an area like Lake Harmony, this is where we decided to come out with our family, right? We decided to rent a cabin because we wanted to spend some quality time. And then the minute we walked into the house, our families were shocked because they've never been to such a big house, right? We're talking about a house that has 16 beds, right? Just about enough to fit everyone that came with us, and still have enough space to socialize, to hang out, play video games, have a nice cookout, have a nice grilling time with everybody where we do some nice barbecues and stuff like that. That in New York City would actually come to you with a premium. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, it's problem solved. Then I'll just get a nice house, a nice big enough house, and move out to Lake Harmony. You have to take a couple of things into consideration. So what are the jobs like out here, right? Are we talking about regular blue collar jobs, or are we talking about a white collar job, people who can actually afford this type of properties out here? And if they can, let's assume, are they willing to drive, let's say, about an hour and a half to the next town so they can get to their jobs? Or do they have a job that is flexible enough that allows them the opportunity to actually work from home in that nice big house without having to worry about the commute? Or three, let's say you decide to rent it out to people that have a lot of money and money is not an issue, and then they want to just stay out here for months at a time. But even if they do, how do you draw their attention, right? There has to be a selling point other than, hey, clubs, which you don't really get to see many, right? Or what else, right? So we already covered the job. So the next thing that you will have to think of is, okay, maybe it can be a touristic place, something that makes them want to come out here and enjoy some nice quality time, just the way they drew us out. So what were the selling points of an area like Lake Harmony? So obviously you have the lake, right? Lake Harmony. There's a beach. There is an area where you can go hiking, you can go fishing, and it's 10 to 15 minutes close to the Poconos Resort, where you can go ski, snowboarding, snow tube. Hershey Park is somewhere nearby here. You have the outlets out here as well, where you can actually do lots and lots of shopping at a much more affordable rate. And they also have a brewery out here. So in the event that you want to do some beer sampling and go out with your friends and have some fun, then you can go and check that out, and you're relatively, I will say, 10-15 minutes close to that area. That's how you draw someone in here. And now you can see, you can get to compare now the two properties, a $500,000 1 to 2 bedroom apartment versus a 16-bed house out here in Lake Harmony, where you can fit lots and lots of people, lots and lots of cars, which parking tends to be an issue in New York City. But then now you have to ask yourself, okay, what's the maintenance going to be like? How do I maintain, or how do I even manage a property like this? Do I want to deal with a rental in New York City where I sign a contract for 1 month and hopefully every month I will receive rent, I get to collect rent and cover my mortgage? Or do I want to have a rental like this one out here in the woods through Airbnb, but maybe not every month I'm going to see some income? So now you have to ask yourself, right? What's the right investment for me? Do I want to sign a year-long contract in New York City and then hopefully collect my rent every single month and let it be the end of it? Or do you not mind having your property sitting out there for weeks at a time, vacant, sometimes even months, but know that you're going to have to do a lot of marketing on times that are considered to be high season, like the summer or like Christmas, so that you can continue to get money coming in or flowing in your way, so that when it's averaged out, you can still have enough to cover the mortgage payments or whatever expenses that you have. So which one it's more ideal for you? Do you want to do it in a more active way through Airbnb and then just simply interacting with your renters from time to time? Or do you just want a 1 year long contract and hopefully not have to chase that person every single month, because hopefully you did a very thorough investigation and a thorough review or a background check on the person, and now you can rest assured that your rent it's going to be flowing in every month. So that's pretty much what I have for you today. I wanted you to understand that your purchasing power will change depending on the area that you decide to invest, right? Whether it's in New York City, Pennsylvania, even New Jersey, California, you name it, you can get something as long as you know exactly what you want and how to market it to be profitable for you. It's not about just simply taking $500,000 and just buying any single random home where you are envisioning yourself living in. No, this is not about you. This is about the rentals. This is about the person who is going to be willing to rent your property. So you have to put yourself in their shoes and think about, how do I make the experience unforgettable, or how do I make their experience living in my house something that actually makes them feel like they are truly in their home. So hopefully that was helpful, and I hope you liked this episode. And without further ado, I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.